What's up guys, Kevin from Rival here, and today we got this truck. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take this paint, which is looking pretty hammered now, do some multiple steps to it, and make it come out looking awesome. Let's check it out. So before I buff, I always like to do the clay bar process. That way it pulls out all the contaminants in the paint to leave it nice and smooth. Usually I'll use the fine clay because I don't want to scratch the paint, and it's usually not that bad. But this paint's pretty rough, so I'm going to use the coarse clay to really pull out everything that I need to do before I buff it. So claying is pretty simple. All you got to do is take your preferred detail spray, spray it on the vehicle, and start wiping down. So once you're done, you wipe it off, and as you can see, the clay is pretty dirty. I started off clean, so it'll really pull out a lot of contaminants over the whole entire vehicle. So when you gotta buff pretty hard, sometimes as you're moving the buffer around, you can nip trim like this. So what I like to do is I like to take the tape and just tape over it, so if you hit it with the buffer, you don't have to worry about ruining it. So the first step we're gonna do is we're gonna do the compounding. There's two different pads you can use, the coarse or the medium. If it's really bad or you have some wet sanding marks, you can use the coarse. But I'm gonna use this medium pad because this paint's pretty soft. It's a simple two-step system, don't overcomplicate it, so let's get to it. So this is all personal preference. Some people use dots, some people use lines. It all depends on what you prefer and also how dry the paint is or how scratched up it is. So just try out one way and see what works as you go. I like to start it off slow and spread the material out, and then as I'm buffing, turn the speed up a little bit. I make sure I go an up and down and side to side overlapping passes. I'll probably go at that section about 3 or 4 times, and then when I'm done, I wipe off and see if I can continue or need to repeat that process again. So I just finished up the second pass on this spot, and it looks great. I know how much product I need to use and how much pressure I need to apply. So let's finish up this door. All right, so we just finished up the compound step on this door, got the scratches out. Next, we're gonna do the polishing step. You might see a little bit of haze left over. That's completely normal with compounding, especially on a dark color like this. This polish is gonna remove that haze and really bring up that gloss and shine. And as far as this process goes, you can use the same amount of product, about 5 dots on the pad. And with this pattern, it's still the same thing, up and down, side to side, overlapping passes. But remember, you're not correcting anything or removing scratches, so you're letting the machine do the work with a nice, solid, consistent pressure. All right, so just to recap, we did a clay bar, followed up by a compound and polish. And now to finish it off, it's all preference. You can do a wax or a ceramic spray. I'm gonna do the ceramic spray because after I pull this tape off, I can wipe down the windows, the trim, and the paint all at the same time to give it a lasting protection and gloss. And for wiping off, I use the super fluffy microfiber that we have. That way you don't have to worry about scratching, and it leaves a nice streak-free finish. So there you have it, a solid outline to do a 2-step paint correction on your vehicle. For the tools and products that you saw here, go to eastwood.com.